So if I want to find the value for x, then I'm going to take this -4 and I'll plug it in. So I'm going to do this. So I can either do that, that's one possible way, or I can do this. I can take a look at this original equation. And I can do it that way. So it doesn't matter which one you plug it into, it's still going to give you the right value for x. So at this point, I'm going to get x plus 36 equals 29, right? 29. When I subtract 36 from both sides, I'll get x equals -7. Now, if you're like, well, I'm not so sure about that, you can always plug -7 into one of these two and see if you come out with -4. Okay, so remember, it's algebra, so you can always verify your results by plugging numbers in and seeing if it makes the solution to the equation correct. All right, does that make sense? Brian, is that okay? Good, thank you. All right, do you guys want me to do another one of these? Okay, is there one specifically you'd like me to work on? I mean, I'm flexible to do whatever one you want. Number 10, just because. Okay, let's do number 10. So number 10 has 7x plus 6y equals -30. And then I have -x plus 12y equals 30. Now, I can see that 6 is half of 12, which means I could multiply this one by a 2. A -2 is what I want because I want this to end up being a -12y, right? Because then these two cancel. So I can multiply this by -2, or I could decide to multiply this equation down here by 7 so that I have a -7x that would cancel these out. Now, I don't know about you, but I like to keep my numbers small because it reduces my error rate. So if I can find a way to multiply by a smaller number on these, I prefer to do that, not because I can't work with my 7s, but because it just makes more sense to work with smaller numbers. It's faster, easier, and you are less prone to making dumb mistakes when you're working with numbers that you are used to working with, right? So let's multiply the top by -2. So -2 times 7x is going to be -14x. -2 times 6y is going to give me -12y. And -2 times -30 is going to give me a +60, right? So now I want to combine these two equations together. When I combine them together, I will have effectively eliminated the y variable, and then I'll be able to solve for x and find my first variable term. Am I keeping you up here, Alyssa? You're looking like you're going to pass out on me over there. You want to take a little nappy poo? Well, I do. I'm tired, dang it. I want to take a nap. All right. So, right? Combine those, I get -15x. These two combine, and 30 plus 60 is 90. Well, when I divide by -15, I'm going to get x equals -6, right? 15 goes into 96 times. So now I've got -6 for x. I'm going to plug it into this one. So -6 plus 12y equals 30. So that's the that was the second equation that we had in the problem, right? So this becomes 6 plus 12y equals 30. I subtract 6. I'll wait a moment. I know I'm going fast. Sorry. My note takers are damning me, damning my name and going, slow down, you crazed lunatic. Now, when I subtract 6 from both sides, I get 24. And obviously, when you look at that, you can see that y equals 2. So my solution for this system of equations is going to be -6, 2. Okay. Brian, is that making good sense now? Good. Okay. You know, I'm not bugging you. I just want to make sure that what you were asking about, whether or not you're feeling good about it now. So yeah. All right. Now, Brandon, you had a question about one of the graphing ones. You wanted me to do 1 or 2 of those just because you weren't quite sure about those. Is that what I was hearing? Just some random. Sure. Yeah, no worries. Let's take a look at one of the weird ones. Okay. One of the ones that we would normally kind of look at and go, oh my God. So let's look at one of the fraction ones, because you know we have a tendency to you can put the x into either of the 2 equations. I chose the one that had an x with no coefficient because I knew the math would be easier. Again, I'm not lazy. It's not that I can't work with -7 times -6, but why should I if I've got something that just says -x, right? It's going to make it easier for me to do the math. It reduces my error rate, and it's just a smart way to approach your problems. And again, we're now reaching this point in mathematics where you have a lot more control over how you solve your problems in math. You have choices that are both correct. And so you get to the point where you can really do some good stuff. Let's go ahead and look at number 9 here. I think I'm going to zoom in just a little bit. So if we look at number 9 here, so on these, what we're supposed to do here is we're just supposed to graph it. So the top one has a y-intercept of 3. So we know that's where one of the two, that's one of the 2 points we're going to use. And then the slope is 5, which means 5/1. Now, here's the other interesting thing. 5/1 is also -5/-1, isn't it? So this is another way where I can use my brain to say, you know, if I go up 5, I'm going to be off the grid, and I don't want to be off the grid. I want to keep everything inside here. So I can choose to make them both negative and go down 5 and back 5, or back 1, I mean. So I can make my life easier by making intelligent choices about what I do with the slope too, right? You like that? Is that kind of a neat thing to be able to do? I like the fact that it gives me the control to do what I want to do and put my answer where I want it to be, since I have choices. And so I'm gonna draw my line. Okay, now the second one says it's y equals x minus 1. So I start at x minus 1, or y equals -1, and I go up 1 and over 1. Well, but it looks to me like it might be better for me to go down and back, because I think I'll hit the intersection with that line. What do you think? Or I'll be pretty close, I think. So if I go down 1 and over 1, oh, wait a minute. I'll just do up 1 and over 1. Let's do this. Let's see what it looks like. So, of course, it's a rough graph, but it looks like they're intersecting at -1, -2. So I'm going to plug my numbers in, because since this isn't really a great graph, I want to verify it. So if 5 is -1, or if x is -1, this is -5. -5 plus 3 is going to be a +2. Well, that doesn't look right. Oh, wait a minute. Okay, yeah. If x is -1, then this is -5 plus 3, which equals -2, and it is at -2. Okay, so I was right. I did my math wrong for a second. So this is going to be the intersection point right here, which is going to be -1 comma -2. See? Brandy, you want me to do number 10 as well? Sure. Allie, are you having some kind of a seizure there? Is that what that is? Worried about you. Okay. So let's start with this guy. Well, remember this one, you're just graphing it, right? So this isn't plugging a value in, this is just graphing it. Are you saying you couldn't remember how to plug the number in here? Is that what you were saying, Allie? Okay, you're just having a whole host of problems. I'm just gonna let you sit there and talk to your voices until things calm down. Talk to your voices, it's gonna be all right. Yeah, you multiply the top one by -4. Okay. Folks, just ignore her. She's having a complete conniption right now. We'll just pretend that nothing's going on there. All right, and so let's take a look at this one here. So at -1 is going to be my y-intercept. My slope is -1/2. So I'm going to go down 1 and over 2. And then I'm going to draw my line. I had a ruler around here somewhere, but I lost track of it. Then I'm going to start at +3 for the second one. And it's going to be 1/2. So I'll go up 1 and over 2. I think I'm going to go up 1, or I'll just do it that way. Never mind. So that looks to me like we're intersecting at -4 and -1. What do you guys think? Does that look what it looks like to you? And again, if I'm not sure, I can plug the values in, right? I can plug X into the first one and say, okay, that gives me a this and that gives me that. So does it work? Yeah, it does. Here's the second one. Does that work? Yep, it does. Great. Okay. All right, you can just plug your values in and verify that it makes sense. And I just did that in my head and they do work. It's Allie, Jacoby. She has issues. I mean, she's got severe bedhead, so clearly there's something wrong with her today. I think we'll probably not have to talk to her for the rest of the period now. She's now mortally embarrassed over bedhead. Now she's gonna hide. She's gonna hide her fluffy hair, her big poofy hair that she washed last night, and then went straight to bed. Which is why it's sticking up on the top too. You know, this is one of the best things about it's one of the best things about being a teacher, because you can torture children without even them realizing that there's no hope for them. So it's just fun. All right. Any other questions on this work? Hello. Give me a thumbs up if you're good. Thumbs up, thumbs up. Yeah, my brain wants to, actually, my brain already feels like it died. So my brain doesn't want to die. I think it's already given me notice. We're dead, so you're kind of out of luck. Okay, so this week's work is not being included in the progress grade, okay? So that'll be the end of the quarter grade. So, but please, verify that you've gotten all your IXL stuff done, because I want to make sure that I can give people the appropriate grades, okay? I don't think I have anyone on here right now that's in grade trouble. I think, let me just double check. Yeah, there's no one here right now that has, there's no one here that has any kind of grade issues. So all of you guys are doing well. And I probably showed a little more, I probably showed a little mercy on some of the IXL stuff. So if some of you weren't quite done with all of it, but you were doing pretty well and you were showing me that you were making excellent progress on it, I just gave you credit for it because you know what? Yeah. Because we're all in this together, right? All right. So if there are no more questions, I will release you for you to go and work on this stuff and get it done so you don't have to worry about it. Okay. And wow, Allie, your hair looks even worse now. What'd you do to yourself? Oh, she went and wet her hair down. She's so self-conscious. Yeah. Oh, it's still sticking up and back though.
That's just how my hair is. I spike it in the back and now it stays spiked in the back.
It's actually not sticking up and back. I just know you couldn't see it, so I'm making you crazy.
Well, I have a mirror right here too, so
yeah,
I can just use a mirror.
I
There.
have 2 daughters and I tortured them on a regular basis with things like this.
There.
Because I'm a mean jerk.
My hair is normal now.
Well, let's not go that far. I mean, that might be a bit of a walk to say that anything about you is like normal. I'm not real comfortable going quite that far. I cut my hair last week again.
I cut my hair in January. I think January or February.
All right, you loopy-loos. If you're good, you can go. If you just have some strange obsession with staying here in class,